Alright, if Dark Moon knows how to count, I believe that means I am live. Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, those who lie between and those who lie beyond. It is good to see y'all here on RPG Limit Break. My name is Wote, and this is Final Fantasy I Randomizer. And in fact, this is probably the first of Final Fantasy Randomizer Friday tonight. We have, I think, 3 races on here today, and all of them are being restreamed by the ever-lovely Dark Moon. Joining me in the booth is my tracker for tonight, Duskbloom, and we have Sirlinkalot versus Ravioli in a pod match of our winter tournament. So, let's get down to brass tacks. What are we looking at here tonight? We are looking at a race where the runners need to find 2 orbs. Normally you have to kill all 4 fiends in order to access the final dungeon. Tonight you only need to kill 2 of them, and it can be any 2. You are also going to need to find a key and a loot to open up the doors in the final dungeon. And beyond that, it's anything goes. We start with a canoe, we start with a bridge, the first continent is our oyster, and we will eventually find a ship in a canal somewhere on there if we don't find an airship beforehand. But let's go ahead and jump into what these runners are looking at. So, we have our pick of all the classes except Black Belt, because Black Belt is way too overpowered and everyone would pick it and it would be boring, so we're not doing that unless someone wants to do that. So instead, we are looking at a starting party on Sirlinkalot's side of Fighter, Red Mage, Black Mage, Ravioli going with a Fighter Rainbow, as we lovingly call it. The Fighter starts with increased vitality and agility, loses out on some hit points at first level, that's fine, it's a Fighter, they will get those health after 1 level up. Red Mages start with the ability to hurt dragons. They just do extra damage to dragons. They get the Promo Sage Blessing, which enables them to cast any spell in the game. And unfortunately they can't wear ribbons, but as you can see on Sirlinkalot's side, who cares? Our Black Mages tonight get increased agility. Can't equip shields, can't hit for anything, who cares? They're Black Mages, you're not swinging. White Mages, meanwhile, can equip legendary swords, gain +1 MP at every level, and have a reduced magic defense. Who cares? You're just oh yeah, see right there. Who cares? You're probably just going to cure your way through all of your problems. Or hit things with them. If anyone had bothered to bring a thief, or recruits a thief, they can hurt undead. They start with some extra HP, they lose out on agility. A little bit of a pain. Black Belts can equip gauntlets and helmets, have increased hit percent, and can't equip pro rings. There's a chance we can find Black Belts behind fiends. It's probably not going to matter. All that being said, we are going to get started here in just a moment, and that's pretty much going to be where things will kick off as soon as we see what the runners are going to do. The opening of the game is going to be pretty standard. We are going to run around in Canaria, buy some spells, buy some gear, maybe buy some gear, and then we are going to go punch Garland in the face, and we're going to get a couple of things, and then we're probably going to go to Provoca unless we get some really good things. But speaking of good things, that is Nuke and Fast here in the Black Magic Shop, and a Cure 4 and Harm 3 in the White Magic Shop. We do have a flag on that lets White Mages hurt anything with the Harm spell, so that is basically full firepower for Ravioli and Sirlinkalot. So yeah, the Nuke spell, those of you familiar with the later iterations of the game, you might know the Final Fantasy franchise, you might know as Flare. And the Fast spell you might know as Haste. The big thing to know about Fast in this particular case is that Fast does not make you go faster. Active time battle will not be invented for another, 3 years. Instead, Fast doubles the number of hits that you can make at a time, which increases the chance that your hits will land. But specifically, we are looking here at the ability to basically make sure that we hit enemies a lot with that early Fast. So basically the way that damage is calculated in this game, you swing a certain number of times, the game determines how many of those hits land, the number of hits that land determines how much damage you put out, so more hits is more damage, and that is a good thing, and that is a black shirt that we started with today. In this flag set, we start with an item that will cast a random AoE spell, today we got a black strip that is Ice 2 access. And the king is going to give us an adamant rock, and the princess gives us a vanilla lute, although the part of the lute today is being played by the concerta. And yeah, Kylio, red mages cannot equip ribbons today, but they get promo sage, so you know what? 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. You can find wall somewhere, it's fine. I mean, I know where we can find wall, and it's not a good place, but you can find wall, and they can cast it, because they have promo sage. And that is not a great armor selection, but the silver shields are nice. But yeah, the adamant rock is not going to be enough to convince either of these runners to make... Oh! Okay, that was the ruby. I assumed it was an instrument. Okay. So we don't have the lute yet, we have a ruby. Oops. Okay, so the ruby is not going to come into play until we have a boat, either of the flying or the sailing kind. We technically also need a place for the boat to go, but again, that is a problem for future us. Like 20 minutes from now with most us, probably more like 10 minutes. Either way, yeah, so Linkalot is going to be heading over to the Provoca area. That's where we're going to find our level 2 spells. We have another shot at a key item check. Ah, hey, vanilla, hey, +0 silver swords. That's nice to know. We can't quite afford them, but we may see someone drop back and grab those coming back from Provoca if they decide to chase the adamant instead of heading down the coast. But yeah, Ravioli's still doing a little bit of shopping here before making the trip over to Provoca. Sirlinkalot in Provoca, so we are going to see where things are going from here. We do have that AoE item, so this is just going to be Nuke, Nuke, Ice 2, and Nuke. So, long story short, these pirates do not get to live through this round. Concrete, thank you, Duskbloom. And Ravioli actually going to go turn in this adamant and see what it becomes, and it is a bottled fairy. Meanwhile, the pirates don't have the boat, but they do have a thing a boat goes through, so... I mean, I guess that works. Ravioli actually just completely fading Provoca. I don't hate this move. Like, you have Nuke Fast and Cure 4. There's not a lot that Provoca can offer you right now, except for, like, the ability to conserve your MP a little bit. But Linkalot's going to let us see what is available here. Invis 2, Lamp, and Exfer are nice. We do have the improved Lamp flag on, so Lamp will remove Mute and Paralysis as well as Blind. But we also see Quad X, Lit 3, and Lock 2. So I have a feeling neither runner... Well, with Linkalot's not picking up any... Well, okay, he is going back for a little bit of white magic, but I suspect that Ravioli may just not even bother giving his red mage white magic from level 2. But back on level 3, we do have Life 2 that is red mage learnable. Sirlinkalot will be happy to see that. And we didn't really... We saw Saber and Zap at level 3 black. Level 4 black offers us Ice 3 and Fire 3, both very nice. And White Magic, Heal 2 was the only thing really notable. Anyway, Linkalot is going to go ahead and go to Ice Cave, it looks like. Very early Ice Cave play. I don't mind this at the slightest. You've got the firepower for it, you've got the healing for it. The only thing you don't really have is a way out of Ice Cave in a hurry. But Ravioli has already shown us that Warp and Exit are not options right now. So we don't really care. About the only thing that might work against Sirlinkalot is if, say, Ravioli finds the ship or the floater in one of these checks that he's doing instead of Ice Cave. And I also, apparently, we didn't get the timer started. I, for one, blame Darkmoon. and no one else. Yeah, so Ravioli and Sirlinkalot diving into the two caves no one likes at the same time. Different caves, but just about equal amounts of distaste in the community. No one likes Marsh Cave, no one likes Ice Cave. But that's neither here nor there. So, what we are looking at, though, is both of these runners should have a fairly easy time of it. Linkalot has plenty of firepower to deal with anything that's down here, as long as it doesn't get the drop on him or gets an opportunity to just dumpster him. Like, these wraiths could cause some difficulties. But we get the turn order, they're dead. They're not surviving the nuke. Ravioli finding really not a whole lot here in Marsh Cave, but we might see that turn around here after these giants go down. But yeah, so I think a lot probably looking to use this early firepower and the fact that Ice Cave is a higher level area to pick up some extra experience on the survivors. And that is a cube out of Marsh Cave. So, looking increasingly like Linkalot's decision may be a good call, but that Light Axe +2 on Ravioli's side, that is a good pickup. That is going to carry you through a lot of the early game. And honestly, like, until we find our endgame weaponry, that's probably good enough to carry us. Linkalot finds the Ruse Staff out of that mage chest here in Ice Cave. Ravioli may or may not check that one. That is a little bit out of the way. Some runners do opt to skip that. He probably will check it just because there is an encounter tile there. And both of these runners absolutely are trying to find a good place to grind. So, while we have a moment, if you're familiar with the original Final Fantasy, you're probably sitting here going, I don't remember all of these pluses and minuses. What did you people do to this game? A lot. But in this particular case, what we've done to this game is we have, more or less, introduced weapon and item, what we call weapon and item blursing. So, weapons can roll up or down. Armor can roll up or down. So in this case, a weapon, for every plus or minus 1, loses or gains or loses 3 attack, an amount of hit percent that I can never remember, so I don't like to give a definitive number to, and a bit of crit chance. So a +2 Light Axe is basically on par with, like, the Defense Sword, I want to say. I think that's about where the Light Axe +2 falls. It's a very good axe. It's probably not quite good enough to carry you through the end game without, like, the Power Gauntlet to cast Saber, or, like, the rest of your mages to cast Saber. And while I was rambling, the Whiz Mummies did bad things to Sirlinkalot, I surmise. Yeah. Now, it is funny you should say that, Ordy. There are certain adjustments to the randomizer that can introduce weapon randomization, so you can wind up with an Excalibur. We aren't using those, because they make things really, really funky. Not in the sense of, like, it's broken, just in the sense of, like, we generally try to make these flags accessible. This is normally our spring tournament, if you've seen those in the past. We decided to move it back this year because we wanted it to actually end in something resembling spring. So it's now a winter tournament that will basically end in March. So that's fun. Ooh, chain +5. Linkalot's going to be really happy to see that, because his party consists almost entirely of people who wear chain armor, and chain +5, that's like... Yeah, that's that's 25 absorb. That's pretty much on par with a... It's not quite on par with a gold bracelet, but it's getting close to that point. Like, you're gonna... That's really good defense for, like, 11 gold. Like, we may not actually see Ravioli change armor off of those red mages, unless we just find really good gold bracelets. In the meantime, though, we do have the loot out of the sages, so that means that there is a ship here in the ice cave. Linkalot doesn't know it yet. Ravioli does, because, well, Ravioli knows that whatever's in Ice Cave is his ship. So Linkalot is probably going to get the ship first. He knows not to step on any tiles that... no, he knows what else is in here, but he does need to get the ship and get out. Oh yeah, Ravioli never went to Provoca. Okay, so Ravioli's gonna go check Provoca first to see if it's vanilla boat. Although, yeah, he would know that he still needs to go to Ice Cave for the canal, even if this is the boat. Linkalot continuing to press forward, about to make the drop into the hole to hopefully retrieve the ship, but first has to get past a pack of wizards with stone poison. Well. Okay. Lynx Radia is a black mage. I believe black mage, judging by the fact both runners have a black mage, I surmise that black mage was the 4th slot when they started, so yeah. Black mage was the forced. So yeah, Linkalot getting the business from this ice cave. Ravioli heading that way, but is going to have a little bit of, well, I don't know, we'll have to see. I think Linkalot has more levels than Ravioli at this point, but we'll see. Ravioli, though, did have the opportunity to stock up on supplies, stock up on armor, get a pro ring for one of his characters. That's nice. Ooh, and our tracker Duskbloom speculating that we may have found the Medusa script containing Invis 2 and Stone Poison. Which is great. Not great, because that means that we are looking at a situation where we might have Invis 2 or Stone Poison as a first round thing. Invis 2 not so bad, it doesn't really help you dodge nuke. But Stone Poison, not so great. And in case folks are wondering what we mean by Stone Poison, there are 2 abilities in this game that are named Poison. One of them is an AoE damage attack that hits the whole party. The other is an AoE instant kill attack that turns you to stone. They are both named Poison, and the only way to know which is to wait for it to land. Okay, so Ravioli coming in a little higher level than Sirlinkalot is, or Sirlinkalot's save is. I think Linkalot is at like level 7 coming into this dungeon. Ravioli's level 9. Suboptimal, but we'll see how it shakes out. So, Ravioli finding the wizards, have the stone poison. I think burned off the encounter with a soft reset and is gonna just try and dodge around them. I mean, this is better than when we got wizards with Nuke and Blizzard. That was a fun seed. So, alright, Linkalot dropping into the hole, and we have the Seafood Party Pack. And I think Linkalot is just going to try to run away or nuke them. Ooh, those are some beefy trolls tonight. Hopefully... Oh, Snake also makes it out of the first nuke, but not the second. So that's going to be level 12 for Linkalot's party. That is the ship, and now he just needs to get out of the dungeon. So, the downside to this setup, though, for both runners is the fact that they really don't have much in the way of, like, run chance. The Black Mage is the best runner on both sides, but still not ideal, because the Black Mage is nowhere near as good a runner as the Thief, but Sirlinkalot is out with the boat. So, that is the first major hurdle overcome. And we'll see if Sirlinkalot decides to... Like, Sirlinkalot is almost certainly going to go ahead and hit up Crescent Lake and Marsh Cave, though he is going to go back to Provoca first to get his boat. So the way that the randomizer determines where the boat gets docked, assuming you're not doing, like, entrance shuffle, is it will basically go to the nearest dock inside the inner sea, that you can get to without any map edits from wherever the boat is. So, if you find it in Dwarf Cave, it's going to be at that dock next to Dwarf Cave. If you find it anywhere between Northwest Castle and Crescent Lake, that entire southern side of the continent, it's at the dock in Elfland. If you find it in Ice Cave, it goes to Provoca. And if you find it anywhere else, it's going to go to Canaria, including outside the southern continent. That's not an issue in this particular flag set. Boat and the canal and the ship are always going to be somewhere on the southern continent. But Ravioli does get a second pro ring. So far seems to be weathering the ice cave a little bit better than Sirlinkalot's first attempt. Or, not really. The first attempt made it this far. It was the third and fourth that suffered a little bit. But the point being, Sirlinkalot definitely ceded a bit of time there to Ravioli by coming in a little bit weaker than perhaps was prudent. Ah, okay. So I see how we found out where the Medusa script is. And in case you're wondering what Medusa script means, in the Final Fantasy I randomizer, we do shuffle a lot of things, including the AI of our enemy formations, and our enemies in particular. So, most enemies have a unique script, and those scripts get moved around, yada yada yada. The one exception to this is the script that belongs to the Medusa, Gur-Medusa, and I want to say Saria enemies. Those three enemies all use the exact same logic. Ravioli gets through that Whiz Mummy formation, jumps up to level 14, does not know how lucky he is, I suspect, because I'm pretty sure, because none of his characters are currently petrified. So, yeah, we do know that he knows about the stone poison on wizards, though. So, he is still aware that he has some danger going on. But, that may bode well for Ravioli's ability to get out of this on his first dive. And that would pretty much bring these runners equal, because if Ravioli can get out of Ice Cave first try, that should take him about as long as it's going to take Sirlinkalot to make this Marsh dive. And yeah, he's already up to the Seafood Party Pack. And yeah, Mark is pointing out, we do have Invis 2 first spell. I don't have the randomizer wiki pulled up. If someone wants to go see how many Invis 2s are in the enemy pool, just for our own curiosity. Let's see. But, Cure 4 getting some exercise here. Ravioli conserving spell charges a little bit, saving those nukes, I suspect, to deal with any other wizards he may bump into on his way out. But there's Ravioli's boat. And Sirlinkalot, it looks like, might be... Oh, no, okay, he's using the river systems. So he's gotta go do these... He's gonna go check his Dwarf Cave, he's gonna go... check Marsh Cave. Excuse me, sorry about that. Alright, this should be the last fight Ravioli gets into. Knock on wood. And you can't be mad at me if it isn't, because this happened 10 minutes ago. Oh yeah, no, Sirlinkalot just fading Marsh Cave entirely. What did we get out of Marsh Cave? Was that the ruby? No, we have the cube. We got the cube from Marsh Cave. Alright, so Linkalot not in bad shape if that's the case. We do finally find Warp, and we get Brack, Quake, and Rub. This is a very death-heavy 5th level black magic. Also, Rub is there. Rub is a very bad spell. Only use it if you have literally no other choice. Just a little tip for me. Alright, so Sirlinkalot is going to now go talk to the Titan. We do have an incentive item chest here. Basically, there is a key item guaranteed to be here. It could be a ribbon, it could be a vorpal, it could be a progression. Also, Sarda is on the other side of this tunnel, and today it is a required. That is the key in the loot. Sirlinkalot is a dungeon access item away from go mode. So, like I said, we only need to kill 2 of the fiends. One of the fiends, Carrie, is located in a volcano that we can access immediately from the start of the sea, because all you need to get there is a canoe. The other 3 fiends are locked behind some kind of progression item. Lich, you need a rod to get to. Kraken, you need the Oxyale. And Tiamat requires the chime and the cube. And there is our other fiend access item. Sirlinkalot is in go mode, nominally. He has everything he needs to access the final dungeon. So, here's where things get tricky. We can get into the final dungeon. We may even have some success in the final dungeon. But the final dungeon in Final Fantasy I is not trivial. So, yeah, Ravioli also about to pick up his go mode. So, both of these runners now have to figure out something. What do I need to get through the Temple of Fiends? Do I need a better weapon? Do I need more spell charges? What spells do I need? What equipment do I need? Do I need better armor? Do I need a class change? And therein lies the real challenge of these flags. It's not in actually getting to the final dungeon, it's determining how much you need to get through the final dungeon. What is your floor for getting through the final dungeon? There is a guaranteed ribbon, and there's a guaranteed Vorpal sword. There is no guarantee that either the ribbon or the Vorpal sword will roll good stats, especially the Vorpal sword. The ribbon, I mean, even a bad ribbon will still give you resistance to all elements. And no, Kylio, no one's gone up to Bahamut's Horde yet. So, just to finish this thought out, we have everything we need to get into the last dungeon. We do not have everything we need to beat the last dungeon. We have a lot of what we need. We have Fast, we have Nuke, we have Life 2, we have Cure 4, we even have Life on a different spell level. We have a lot of the tools. We don't have all of the tools. We don't really have a weapon yet. We don't have... We might want character promotion. We might want to get the tail. We might want to get those advanced classes so that, you know, we can swing that Vorpal sword, so that we can have that red mage learn all of the spells forever. Okay, Fade was at level 5. I missed that. So, basically, right now I'd say that this seed favors Sirlinkalot, mostly because Sirlinkalot has experience on his side. Ravioli, solid runner, you know, obviously keeping pace with Sirlinkalot. So, you know, map movement, excellent. Encounter manipulation, excellent. What this is going to come down to is Ravioli comfortable with going into Temple of Fiends at the same sort of power level that Sirlinkalot is. Because I know Sirlinkalot is comfortable with some marginal, like, Topher dives. He knows this game well enough to know what he can get away with. And so the question is, does Ravioli have a similar knowledge of what he can get away with? And is Ravioli going to look in the right places to find the things he needs to get away with it? Because here's the other thing. If you're familiar with vanilla Final Fantasy 1, you know, for example, that there is the Masamune. The Masamune, the ultimate sword that is so much better than everything else in this game, it's not even funny. That any class can equip, even unpromoted classes. That doesn't exist in this flag set. What does exist is an Ice +2. So, Ice +2 borders on you can get away with it. It's very marginal. Like, if you're running, say, 50 to 200% enemy stat adjustment, a vanilla ice sword can do the job. It won't be pretty, it won't be fast, but it can do the job. An Ice +2 pushes up into, like, with these flags, we have 80% 190 on enemies and 80% 180 on bosses, I want to say. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Jesus. It's good enough. If you wanted to push your luck, an Ice +2 is good enough. I have Vanilla Mudgull encounter for Ravioli. So this is a linked chest here. Basically, chests in this game sometimes will share the same ID. So if you open a box in one part of the dungeon, boxes in other parts of the dungeon will be empty as if you had opened them because you kind of technically did. But yeah, no, that's what I was saying. Getting back to what I was saying about the Ice +2. An Ice Sword +2 is better than, I want to say it's better than a vanilla Sun Sword, or a vanilla Defense Sword. And those are usually good enough if you've got enough Temper or Saber casts to get the job done. Now, we don't have guaranteed access to the Power Gauntlet, which is an item that will cast Saber on whoever has it. But both runners have at least 2 black magic casters. There's our Vorpal +2. So, Sirlinkalot being reminded that he can't equip the Vorpal without a class promotion, is going to shove the Ice +2 into one of his Red Mage's pockets just in case. So here's the thing that Sirlinkalot is now having to contend with. How long are you going to spend hunting for the tail? Knowing your opponent probably is making a lot of the same moves you're making, because Linkalot's kind of following a very conservative progression. Doing your free checks, doing the easily accessible checks. Knows that floater is still floating out there, for lack of a better term. Knows that you can go ahead and access the dungeons. Well, there's the floater. Alright, so Astos has the floater. Astos is about to die very painfully. We could have quad-X'd him, but I appreciate Linkalot going for the easy answer there. So, this will get us airborne. Okay. So, Linkalot has that Vorpal, has an Ice +2, is going to check these boxes, possibly check the fights here. Yeah, he's gonna check. Oh, okay, yeah, no, we're not taking this one. More than we have to. Ooh, but this might be worth taking. Alright. And we found the tail. It's actually at the caravan. So vanilla... We're going to call that Neapolitan vendor item. It is a vendor item in the vanilla location, just not the vanilla vendor item. So question in chat, what's the usual runtime for this kind of randomizer run? So these flags can be very fast. I would say that it's not surprising to see a run that finishes in under an hour under the right circumstances. But because you're not necessarily doing as much digging as you'd normally like, it can take longer because you're sometimes going into the final dungeon underpowered. And also, like, we've beefed up the enemies, both bosses and normal enemies. So, it can be rude. It can be rude. I've seen seeds go up to almost an hour and a half. But yeah, as folks in chat are saying, 45 minutes to an hour are about where most of these runners are going to wind up. So Linkalot does get his airship and is going to go ahead and go do Volcano and dig for loot. Ravioli, meanwhile, has promoted. So this is going to open up options in terms of weaponry. We know that there's a Vorpal sword that Ravioli is going to be able to lay hands on. There is a Sun sword. I think it was a Sun +3. I was looking away for a moment. Oh, Sun +5! Okay, never mind. Linkalot has his endgame weapon. Linkalot is probably done digging, to be completely honest. That Sun Sword is equipable without promotion, and the armor he's got is good enough. So Linkalot probably going to go ahead, kill Carrie, go kill Kraken, maybe see if he can find a grind, otherwise, he may just take his grind in Temple of Fiends, get his party up to like the mid-20s, and say, good enough, let's go win the game. We have not seen Temper yet, Jesus, but a Sun Sword +5 is good enough. That's an attack power of, like, that's an attack power in the mid-40s. Pretty good hit percent. Crit rate's not anything to write home about, but we have level 1 fast, so who cares? Yeah, Linkalot's still gonna open a few more boxes, but that Sun Sword may be good enough. And we even find a ribbon for our trouble. And an Opal Cheerio. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna check maybe one more, we might check the Agama boxes on this floor, and then we might just be calling it a good enough and go, if we're Linkalot. Well, I think with the levels that Linkalot is probably going to put on his knight, because you have to bear in mind, the knight started with extra vit and agility, so he's a little dodgier than normal and is going to be picking up a lot of HP. So that fighter can probably gain enough experience, and there's our grind fight. That is Metal Slimes. And that actually might be in the Agama room. Yeah, that's the Agama fight. Okay, so Linkalot's even got a grind now. So Ravioli, meanwhile, taking his promo characters, and he's gonna just go ahead and go kill Kraken. I doubt we'll see a mermaid side play. I think Ravioli's found enough decent gear, and we know if he goes to fight Carrie, which seems likely because we do not have a chime or a rod yet. If he sticks his head into the armory to find some loot, he's going to find that Sun Sword, and he'll probably also go, good enough, let's go win the game. So what this is going to come down to is efficient grinding, which Ravioli has a level advantage on Linkalot right now, I believe. I think Linkalot is sitting around 15 or 16. Ravioli is almost 20. So, yeah, there we go. So, Linkalot is sitting at 16. Ravioli is gonna... Oh yeah, Nuke is rolling well. And yeah, we did see an Agama there. So, yeah, so Linkalot probably still gonna hunt for the tail, because he's found a lot of good knight gear, and also presumably is still going to see if he can find those spells that he really wants, namely Temper. Which we know at this point Temper's gotta be 7 or 8. But yeah, so if Linkalot can find another ribbon or the tail, I think he'll be happy. May also be thinking he doesn't want to go all the way back to Onrak. Oh, there's our Temper at level 8. So we're not going to be tempering big today. Alright, so there's the rod. So Linkalot could opt to just go do Lich, which is not a terrible move. It's a more accessible dungeon, it's quicker to get to. But he is still hunting, so what this tells me is he's either wanting a ribbon or a tail. Because he has everything else he could possibly want. Tail would probably mostly be, I know he's found a few good pieces of knight equipment, so he may be thinking, I want the Vorpal and I want some knight gear. But he could also be saying, I would like a ribbon so that I can have more than one party member resisting the horrible things that are happening in ordeals. But here is his tail, so we'll find out in a moment if that is what he was after. Ooh, and Ravioli finds a defense sword +4. Thanks for calling that out, chat. I was looking at Linkalot's side. So, Ravioli could also opt to take that defense +4 and call it a C. But he is at least going to run away from this Phantom, get nothing for his trouble. Linkalot promotes, and we'll see if he keeps checking things or if he's good to go. Yeah. Dragon Armor -3. It's not great, but if you only have one ribbon, you're not complaining. Ravioli gonna heal up the party, run away from the Phantom again, and gets... That looked like, was that Ice Armor +5? Anyway, he is out of there. The Life 2 at level 3 is Knight learnable, yeah, Jesus. So, Knights will have access to Cure 4, Invis 2, Ruse, and Life 2. So, that is... So, Knight has a limited selection, but it is a good selection. So, I wouldn't be surprised if Linkalot does go and pick up the... pick up some spells for that Knight. So, chat confirming it was Ice Armor, Ravioli just didn't have room, but Ravioli, not being too broken up about it, is going to go confront Kraken. Going to put some lockdown, get some Invis 2 going, fast up the Knight. I don't know what he's swinging. Okay, he's probably swinging that defense +4, if I'm being honest. Ooh, but that... the Black Mage goes down before he can throw on the Ruse, so that is unfortunate. Or not Ruse, the Fast, but... Nuke comes out, Fade comes out, Kraken already 500 in the hole, 4 hits for 100. That is the unfortunate thing, the Ruse Sword not quite as solid on the crit side of things, but we get through it with some ruses and some nukes. So, Ravioli gets an Orblet, Probably also going to go to Volcano. He's already got his Fiend down, he can get to carry, and there's some good loot in there, and he may be thinking, I might want to find an X-Cal and see if it rolled up. So yeah, chat, meanwhile, for folks who might be catching the VOD later, arguing over the merits of +5 Ice versus -3 Dragon. The big thing for -3 Dragon, Dragon Armor absorbs, or resists, Fire, Ice, and Lightning, whereas Ice Armor doesn't resist 2 of those. But the +5 on the Ice Armor means it has a 44 absorb to Dragon -3's 36 absorb. So, the Dragon Armor, better for dealing with elemental magic, the Ice Armor, better for dealing with someone punching you in the face. Ravioli, I forgot Ravioli doesn't have an airship. But is going to go ahead, go clear out Volcano. Maybe just thinking, I've got a lot of good stuff. Sirlinkalot finding an X-Cal -1. That is a solid weapon for the first chunk of Temple of Fiends. X-Cal hits every possible weakness in the game for extra damage. So that'll do work until you get to the back end of Temple of Fiends, because Chaos has no weaknesses. He does not have a type, he does not have elemental weaknesses. The best you can do is to hit him with the spell Expert to strip his elemental defenses away. Alright, Ravioli going to fight this... Oh, that's a vanilla Grey Worm, I didn't even catch that before. But this is where he's going to find his Sunsword +5. And that is pretty much going to do it for him in terms of gear setup. So, probably not going to open any more boxes after clearing out the armory here. Gonna kill Carrie and go. So, Sirlinkalot, meanwhile, probably going back for those temper shots. Yeah, that is precisely where he's going. So, yeah, picking up Temper on all of his black magic casters, because, again, Sage promotion. That red mage does have the ability to learn every spell in the game, including level 8 spells. So, Linkalot heading back to Lefane. Probably thinking, probably going to use the Mega Store here to finish out his spell book. And then we'll see where he goes from there. Ravioli's still opening boxes. I don't hate it. We know there's a ribbon down here, so if he goes all the way up to the upper left-hand corner, he will get a ribbon for his trouble. But beyond that, probably shouldn't be opening more boxes after this. But his levels are looking pretty good, just by virtue of the fact he's getting some preemptives. Preemptives are a function, I believe, of agility, and that fighter rolled up on agility today. So, that tells me that that fighter's getting up to the point where Ravioli's getting what he needs, and alright. The fact that he is running past some of these boxes, I think that ribbon was what he was looking for. So he's going to kill Carrie, going to need to do a little more sailing than Linkalot did, but we actually should see these runners getting to the Temple of Fiends around the same time. So yeah, Linkalot's got to make a quick run back. I imagine we'll see him fly to Canaria, restock on heal pots, save at the end, and make the dive into Topher at about 47.5 minutes. Oh, never mind, he's going straight in. Alright. So, 46.5 minutes. Oh, he's gonna check these boxes first. Okay. I don't hate it. Don't hate it at all. He's probably looking for the power gauntlet. Because he's got good swords, but finding the power gauntlet will bump it up tremendously. Like I said, Saber, the spell that you can cast on yourself using the power gauntlet, is a self-buff. It drastically increases your attack capabilities. Which, with the swords we have, any amount of buffing will do the trick. He might be looking for a bit of a grind, but honestly, if he has Topher access, the best grind he can get is behind that black sphere. Alright, Ravioli pulling up the mini-map in order to make sure he's going the right way. Take a shot. Also, if there are any mods watching, we've got something that needs dealing with real quick. But that is a problem for them to deal with. In the meantime, Ravioli is gonna go check these boxes. Uninterested in Astos, I don't blame him. The, whatchamacallit, floater is useless to him at this point. And yeah, Sirlinkalot taking fights here in Temple of Fiends. I noticed that, yeah, his party isn't even past 20 yet. He needs to take some fights. Whole party is level, whatchamacallit. His whole party looks to be about level 19, yeah. He needs probably, I'd say he probably wants another 2 or 3 levels before Chaos. And we'll see what Ravioli does, in terms of levels. I think Ravioli's probably already in, like, around 21 or 22. Yeah, Rubes, 19 can work if Topher's forgiving, but with these flags, the odds of a forgiving Topher are slim. Yeah, so Ravioli probably was looking for the Vorpal there, gets the floater. It doesn't matter, he's probably heading back to Canaria. Is he gonna go check the Dwarf Treasury? Did he ever turn in the TNT? He ever turned in the TNT, and I don't remember what this turned... Oh, that's the Vorpal! Well, butter my biscuits. Alright. So, Ravioli gets, bailed out. And gets an Opal Shield. So that knight is pretty dang sturdy at this point. The Opal Shield doesn't really help out with resistances, but that basically balances out the loss from the dragon armor rolling down. And I keep blinking and missing it as far as what Ravioli's party's level is right now, but like I said, I suspect we're probably looking at around level 21 for his group. Just based on HP values and the fact that he got a little more experience on him than Sirlinkalot did in the early game. So, with all of that being said, yeah, Ravioli, unlike Sirlinkalot, not going to be able to take advantage of hitting the maul to get life 2 on that really sturdy knight. But it may not be as imperative, just because he's got a little more hardiness overall. Okay, I take it back, he is going to do some quick shopping around. It very well might have been an A-Rub buy, so, alright, I will go on the record. A-Rub is not a bad spell. It provides coverage against Earth, Death, and I want to say status, might be poison. Either way, thank you, Rubes, status. So, it's one of those things, it covers some stuff you want protection from, but you can't easily get protection from without a ribbon. So I do not hate having a rub available. Alright, so Ravioli is going to keep digging. I suspect at this point he must be trying to find the incentivized ribbon. The herb, he probably is also going to grab this life too if he follows the herb, but he may be saying, okay, I have already bled too much time, I need to just go. Sirlinkalot taking a wipe, I didn't see to what. But yeah, so here is where Ravioli, level 21, with the experience you'll get going down, might be good enough. The biggest thing that hurts him is that he does not have temper casts. I believe it's what, level 25 to get level 8 like any level 8 spells? Is it higher than that? Is it like level 29, 31, something like that? Okay, thank you, Guardian Marcus. So, Sirlinkalot exits out. He's at level 25 now. Gonna fight some red bees to get stronger. Alright. Okay, so Sirlinkalot, yeah, level 25 probably would have been good enough. It looks like he's gonna take it higher. Probably wanting to at least get a charge or two of temper for the Chaos fight. But yeah, Ravioli hitting level 22, gonna step out, save. He's gonna go for it. Oh, he's gonna talk to the bats. Okay, so Chaos has nuke. Chaos has high armor. So Ravioli knows he wants that Vorpal for Chaos. Excuse me. Gets the intel on Lich, namely that Lich is a speed bump. And knows that Tiamat has crack. So, if he did pick up a rub, he knows exactly which fiend to cast it against. So there you go. Alright. So, Ravioli, the first one, it looks like, to make a serious attempt on Topher with a party at level 22. Sirlinkalot playing it safer, looking like he is going to take this up to level 8, to having at least one shot of level 8 magic on his mages. So he'll at least have 3 shots of temper to deploy as needed. Vorpal plus 2, fast, 3 shots of temper. That's probably going to be enough to overcome any obstacle. Okay, I have to read this out because Rubes typed it into chat and I love it. I'm gonna make sure I get my voice right for this. Is this ravioli made of beef? Or is it just some ricotta cheese? Find out today on Final Fantasy Randomizer. But yeah, no, Ravioli, this is definitely a bold play. Like, this could very easily go south, but he is, like, he has the tools. This is not an impossible task. Okay, Chadbert, it does not count as food comms when one of the runners is literally named Ravioli, okay? That's just talking about the man's name. You people. Alright. So, Sirlinkalot, it looks like, got what he wanted out of that mini grind. So, this is now a foot race. Sirlinkalot has the power edge. He has about 6 levels, probably, on Ravioli. And Ravioli is probably going to stop and take some fights to push up that fighter's power a little bit more. Ravioli, the first one into the Temple of Fiends, likely at least going to, like, at least has a little bit of a time advantage. Alright, well, while these are going, chat keeps saying funny things, so I'm gonna keep saying them. So we have Jesus the Frog explaining how he had ravioli for dinner. My girlfriend came in and said, "Ravioli's done," and I was like, "Nah, he'll be another 20 minutes at least." And we've got Softnum out here going, "What is ravioli? A miserable pile of pasta. Perhaps the same could be said of all philopastas. But enough talk! Have at you!" Speaking of having at things, ravioli is almost to the Carry 2 fight, aka the point where you have to actually start respecting Temple of Fiends. Meanwhile, Linkalot looks like he's already on Earth. Well, no, Mudgold... Are Mudgolds Earth floor? I think Mudgolds are Earth floor. Mudgolds also have Toxic. Fortunately, Linkalot does have at least one shot of life, too. He just has to live long enough to finish this fight. But hey, that fighter's got enough power now. And also we have life-toed our way to glory. So that shopping trip coming in very handy for Linkalot. Meanwhile, Carrie deciding to just do Carrie things. Like I said, Carrie 2, you don't get to disrespect her. She can hit hard, she can hit fast, and just unload on you. But Ravioli gets through, still has a life 2 caster. Yeah, there we go. Never mind! Ravioli! 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 Man! Man! Don't bring the Mage Rainbow if you're not going to buy spells for your Red Mage! On the one hand, you hate to see that, but on the other hand, come on! It was Red Mage learnable. You didn't even need to promote to pick up Life 2. I mean, the good news is he can also pick up Life 2 for the night. So, like, that helps him out, but, okay. I'm gonna stop harping on it. I'm gonna stop harping on it. He knows what he did, and you all know what he did. Yeah, I see the frustration, searches there, but yeah. No, like, don't neglect your Red Mage. Your Red Mage can wear good armor, they get good HP. If you can put your safety spells on your Red Mage, do it. So, Linkalot also gets through that incredibly rude Carry 2. Swapping over to the Vorpal at this point, I don't disagree with this. His Knight is going to swing that thing probably for 6 hits before you start hasting him. And I see that chat is pointing out some of the other mental errors that can go on, like forgetting you have Life 2, but... Dang, don't start with me! Anyway. Actually, I don't even remember if I saw Quake in that race. I have to go dig out that seed at some point and figure out if I even had Quake. But that's neither here nor there. Dang, just bringing up painful memories of the last time I tried racing competitively. But we'll talk about that at some other time. So we have Kraken 2, which we do know Kraken 2 has an absurd number of hits. You know, because Kraken 2 in general, but specifically it sounds like he rolled real high on the hits. So Roost Stick comes out, Invis 2 stacking comes out. That Knight already has, like, more than enough evasion to be fine. It's whether or not the rest of the party will live, or if we're gonna have to start burning life 2 charges. But Ravioli back in Temple of Fiends, going ahead and getting to diving again. Fast comes out. Bane drops. Only drops 1 character, though. That is good news for Sirlinkalot. Lock 2s come out to make it easier to hit. I like to refer to the lock spells as the poor man's fast. So that was 7 hits for 500 off of what I believe is the Vorpal. Yeah, 8 hits, 500, Kraken 2 goes down. But yeah, Adam, nah, to be clear, forgetting things like buying life 2 on a character who can learn it, that happens to everyone. You forget things. You forget to pick up key items, you forget to properly equip your party, you forget the stuff you have equipped on them. It happens. The Vorpal rolled +2 for the record. So it's one of those things, the key thing is, the first time you do it is also the last time you do it. But, man, I had faith in you, Ravioli, when you watch this VOD back. I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. You could have been a contender. Case is bringing up the eternal debate in the community over whether crit or attack is better. I'll leave that one for chat to argue over, whether you take the Vorpal +2 or the defense +5. Just be aware that the argument is happening, and if you want to engage in that argument, hey, there's a link to our Discord over on FinalFantasyRandomizer.com. You should come check it out. Come join the debate. Argue about swords, and rehash fights we've been having since literally the last decade. Yeah, so it's one of those things, like, the thing to bear in mind is critical hits do deal damage that ignores defense, or absorb, I should say. So the high crit chance on the Vorpal makes up for a lot. Not necessarily everything, but a lot. And yeah, Linkalot jumping right into this without, really doing much aside from, I guess, patching the party up. Getting his Ruse Sticks up, getting his Invis stacking up. Probably only needs, like, the 2 stacks of Invis 2 and his defense sword and or Ruse Stick to be fully safeguarded. Mostly safeguarded. The important people are safeguarded. So that's 3 hits, 407. This is a very dodgy chaos. Those locks are about to do a lot of work. Fade coming out. Zap coming out, going for a YOLO insta-kill, I think. Oh no, that was lock 2, okay. Ooh. Zap comes out, takes out the 2 red mages. Linkalot might be in a little bit of a bind. He's going to keep throwing these lock 2s on, try to slow Chaos's evade down to the point where the Knight's multiple hits can start going through, increasing the chances that you are going to land some of these crits. Because again, and we are officially in Hold A and Pray mode. Okay. Fortunately, it looks like enough of those locks got off for Linkalot to be able to start a swinging. 7 hits, Lit 3 comes out. Ooh, Chaos has fast. I think, okay, yeah, no. Linkalot not taking any chances, gonna go ahead and throw into the Ruse up. So Chaos cannot get punches through. And we are back into hold A and pray mode. 8 hits for 223 is going to get the job done. Sirlinkalot is going to finish with an official racetime.gg time of 1 hour, 6 minutes, and 30 seconds. Ravioli, it looks like did take another wipe and forfeit about 2 minutes ago, real time. But unfortunately did forget that he is on a 10-minute delay, and it looks like we lost the signal after he forfeited. So we are probably not going to see the end of that run, unfortunately, but probably not good news. But get those GGs and chats for both of these runners. That was a fantastic race all around. And I believe Sirlinkalot is waiting to be dragged up. I do not have two-factor authentication on Discord, so there we go. Linkalot, GG!
Thank you.
So, I'm trying to think through the last hour of things that happened, because there was a lot going on there. So let's start with brass tacks. Ice Cave. Was that a decision based basically on, I've got enough power, I can make it?
Yeah, that was a decision based on I have 3 new casters. I'm not afraid of anything in there until wizards with stone and poison. The wizard mummies on the trap tile was poison, and I was just like, I'm wasting so much time. But then when I got the ship out, I was like, all right, as long as floater's not anywhere else on the inner continent, I'm good. But if it is, I've wasted a lot of time.
Yeah, so it looks like we did get Ravioli back, so it looks like it was a hiccup. Also, apparently I've influenced someone's 2-year-old to start saying GG, so, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. So, alright. Sorry, I really am just trying to think of interesting things. Is there anything that you have on your mind that you've been itching to talk about in the booth while I'm thinking about it?
Why did Timber have to roll up late? That's about it. I guess other than that, and Ice Cave being the way it was, especially like Ice Cave. Well, yeah, Ice Cave was hard recorded. I had the ship. But either that, because I kept opening boxes looking for a power bonk, because I knew when I had my knight, I had life 2 and cure 4 on the knight. I'm just like, nothing's gonna kill me with the roost stick. Like, they'll have to turn 1 kill me. I'll be able to get through any fight more than likely if I get a power bonk and vorpal and I've got a ribbon, I'm fine. But then couldn't find a power bonk. Temper was as high as it was, so I'm like, all right, I'm gonna grind down. I have at least 3 charges of Temper, 1 for Kraken, 1 for Tia, 1 for Chaos, and I'm just gonna swing the vorpal. I know I saw I was hanging out in chat after I finished, and I saw the defense 5. You'd swing a defense 5 over a vorpal. Here's the thing, and here's why vorpal's king when it comes to most swords other than like Katana and Masa. You can buff attack, you can't buff crit, and if those enemies have high absorb, they really don't care how much attack you have until you start critting.
Yeah, I fall on the debate, but we do also have Ravioli sneaking in here a little bit before the end of, where he finally stopped moving. But GG Ravioli.
Oh, thank you, GG.
I'm sure you're going to go back and watch the VOD. So, I'm going to go ahead and tell you now. When you get to water floor for the first time, turn down the volume. In fact, when you get to the carry 2 fight the first time, just turn down the volume a little bit. You'll thank me later. I was a little bit upset that you didn't buy life 2 on your red mage the first time through Elfland.
Oh, that's all I've got to say. Well, I buy a spell with a number 2 in it. I must have life 2. I bought Invis 2 for my knight And yeah. So I could not believe, in the race, my brain just runs, right? And I thought I had the life 2 on the knight and the red mage, and I had it on neither, so quite a surprise.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is you two were running real close together up until that point. No, I'm serious. Like,
I just could not believe that. Now, just, when you say turned on the audio, you could not hear my end, or I wasn't coming through, or is that what you mean, or?
No, I was yelling at you about forgetting life too. No. The volume warning is because I got very, very upset at the realization that you did not buy your red mage any fun toys.
I was so upset, I'm surprised you couldn't hear me from wherever you are.
Anyway. No, seriously though, like you two diverged fairly early on. After Provoca. Actually, no, y'all diverged before Provoca. Linkalot
I went west.
Yeah, Linkalot went to Provoca. Ravioli, you faded Provoca. You followed the Adamant, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, so you two, so when Linkalot was going into Ice Cave, Ravioli, you were going into Marsh Cave, and then you two just kind of circled the continent around each other, and pretty much wound up getting out of the Inner Sea at about the same time, and from there y'all did a lot of divergence and a lot of convergence. Ravioli, you were the first one to promote, actually. You found the tail first. Linkalot was into the air well before you, but then you kind of caught back up a little bit because you made the Topher play well before Linkalot did. Because Linkalot, I'm guessing, like, you did not feel comfortable going into Topher with a Vorpal and no tempers.
No, not what's like. I knew my knight would be able to survive fights more than likely, maybe, but I would need to be getting crits and hope they're actually doing damage. That's why I was like, I'll do the whole party because I wanted some magic resistance on the red wizards because, I mean, I only had one ribbon, but that was their weakness was, hey, you can't do a ribbon, but I was just like, I don't really care. It's just like they have promo sage. I'll just give them wall and it'll be fine. And hey, wall's level 8. It's like, oh well, so much for that.
Sorry, we're just now catching up to the end of Ravioli's run, and I see that you didn't move your ribbon to your knight, Ravioli.
Yeah, and there was big mistake number 2. So yeah.
Yeah. Because Zap takes out the knight, and chaos kind of just chaos is all over the two mages struggling to survive.
Right, and he has a late. Well, I'm gonna spoil it. He's got a late attack here, surprise. But
yeah.
Well, I had Expert Brack. I was really hoping for the. I think I had already forfeited, so I said, why not?
Yeah.
But I forgot the ribbon again. Yeah.
Yeah, the cheeky kill is good. I mean, here's the thing, Ravioli. We were saying this in chat. The good news is, this is the last time you will probably make some of these mistakes. We all do it once. Once.
Yeah.
But, that is a hard death there, but, I mean, again, the thing is you went into Temple of Fiends at, like, level 21 or 22 on these flags. No temper.
Yes.
That was a bold play, and I like it. Like, I feel like if you had the life too, you may have actually had a good chance of stealing this one out from under Linkalot's nose.
I know. I look at the clock, and I'm guessing temper was level 8, or at least,
Yeah, it's level 8.
Yeah, and I didn't buy. I said, I'm not going to turn to the floater. I'm not going to look for wall. I'm sure was, like you said, level 8. So I said, it's all or nothing at this point. I just have to go for it. And the life 2 was really, really the air out of the tires.
but still one of those things where like you ran a hard race and you took the right risks and you found just what you needed to have a good crack at it. I mean, even looking at that chaos fight, like, you were not underpowered for it, given the circumstances. You just, if you'd move the ribbon onto your knight, you, like, yeah, no, there's 100% a reality where if you had that life too, you get to chaos and you kill chaos before Linkalot can get past Kraken too. Because that's how much time it took Linkalot to do that grind. So Link, were you concerned at all when you were grinding, like, that you were potentially seeding the seed?
I figured because of how long Ice Cave took me that I needed to kind of gamble that Topher might be nasty, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted the temper charges. And that maybe Ravioli decided to try to do it at a lower level. And, you know, maybe tried to push through it and had difficulties. And my idea was, like, I need to go into Topher, I need to one-shot it. Like, with how I spent so much time in Ice Cave, because I think I was in Ice Cave for 10, 15 minutes more.
Yeah. You had like 2 deep runs, so I'd say about 10 minutes.
Yeah, I was just like, I can't afford to take a deep wipe in Topher. I need to one-shot this. I need to guarantee I can one-shot it. So that's why I needed the temper, because I didn't want those fights to... Yes, I had the Cure 4s and the Life 2s, but it was just like, if I could get to Chaos with all 4 Cure 4s on that night, Chaos isn't going to be able to kill me unless he's got Cure 4 of his own. And then we'll see what happens, but... Yeah, it was more hedging my bet on a difficult Topher, and it really wasn't. I probably could have got away with going in a lower level, but...
Yeah, Ravioli, did you... None of the bats said anything about Cure 4, so I think that means Warmech had it. No, he didn't. Oh,
no,
sorry.
The Chimera had it, I think, or the Chimera.
No, Carry 2 had the Cure 4. There it is.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so... It was at the very end of her spell list. So, you know, by the time you got there, she had already nuked, baned, quad X'd you, burned you twice, and probably broken out 2 nuclears.
Yeah, I'm glad
that fight was not going to last long enough for Carry 2 to break out the Cure 4.
Yeah, I'm glad I killed Carry in 2 rounds.
Yeah, because that just for the benefit of your knowledge, Linkalot, that's what got Ravioli on that first dive. Is Carrie took out half the party. The red mage lived, but didn't have the life too. Yeah. No, just so it's clear, I'm breaking out FF Hackster because this came up during the thing, and I'm wondering who the third. Because we think that we found 2 of the people who had Medusa script thanks to that ice cave. That's what made me think of this. Because yeah, we saw wizards and whiz mummies, I think, both busted out Invis 2 or stone poison, right?
Yep, both of those had it.
Yeah, so I believe that means...
Mummy had it too, oh boy.
Yep, I got to see that on a trap tile. I was like, oh, trap tile. I'm like, I'll take this. This is good experience for where I am. And they pulled out stone poison and stoned my entire team. I'm like, well, never mind. We're not checking that box anymore. It's like, all right, we're just going to get the roo stick. We'll check the boxes on that first floor of Ice Cave. And then we're leaving. And then Wizards got me. And I was like, all right, well, we're going to try this one more time. And I'm not checking anything except the roo stick because I want it. And we're going to grab whatever in that box, and I hope it's required. And then I'm getting out.
Chat was correct. Sorcerer was the 3rd enemy with Medusa script.
I saw that one too, and he didn't thank you, Sorcerer, for letting me run away.
Yeah, so it was Wizard, Sorcerer, and Whiz Mummy who all had the Medusa script. So, like, Ice Cave, like, Linkalot, Ice Cave being hell was exactly what the doctor ordered. But on that note, I believe we have another race coming up here soon, so before we get the fancy cane, we need to go ahead and start wrapping up, I believe. Yeah, okay, we need to get out of here. because the next race is starting in like 10 minutes. So, final thoughts from you, Ravioli.
GG's, thanks for everybody's work, and live and learn. That's all I can say.
All right. Linkalot?
Yeah, GG's. It was fun seed. I'm looking forward to the rest of the tournament.
All right, glad to hear it. All right. Duskplume, thank you so much for tracking. Dark Moon, enjoy the rest of the night of restreaming. Chet, you have been lovely. Mwah, mwah. Woat, you are the worst commentary partner I've ever had, and I'll see you in hell. Thanks, everyone. Stick around. We've got more Final Fantasy Randomizer action. Take care, everyone.